Retropwned. Going to put a video up on Steam discussions for the Bard's Tale trilogy. I was reading some of the discussions, and recently somebody put up a little rant about Dargoth's Tower in Destiny Night. So, I guess I'll just put up a video of how I navigate it, or how I navigated it, and just a heads up. If anyone's having an issue with Dargoth's Tower, it only gets worse from here. Some of the levels and dungeons and towers in Bards 2 and 3 are pretty much nightmares, but you can do it. You can get through it if you know how to do it. So, this is Dargoth's Tower. A little earlier today, I came to, you're going to want to use your journal a lot in Bards 1, 2, and 3 in the trilogy. You're going to want to just press J and go back and forth like this a lot when you're navigating dungeons or anywhere. Make sure M, if you look in the game window, M is your minimap. You want that on because you're going to be looking at that inside dungeons and towers a lot. You can turn the opacity. If you go to settings, and you'll see here in gameplay, minimap alpha, right there, you can make this minimap right here that you can turn on and off. You can affect how dark or light that is. Like when you're in the city, it's like, oh, I can't really see it. But when you're in the dungeon, it's much more pronounced. So I would say roughly in halfway. So we're in the city of Philippi. And if you look here, anywhere in the city, when you see these light purple, lavender / cyan, that's where the main dungeon or tower is inside of a city. There are some main dungeons and towers in the wilderness too, but here in Philippi is where you're going to find Dargoth's, which I am right outside. And then take the stairway, and you can see here, I've already been through it. Anywhere you see an A is anti-magic. Anywhere you see a music note is you can't play bard songs in that spot. Question marks, like right here, do weird stuff. Sometimes it causes dissension in the ranks. Usually that's a mean, sad face. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. A feeling of malevolence. It's like a little mean face. That's usually dissension in the ranks. Like one of your party members just attacks the rest of your party. Question marks are weird. They can be all sorts of stuff. But if you see S, that drains your spell points. If you see A, that's anti-magic, and music notes is silence. And then these little rotating things are spinners. And then, of course, the X's are monsters, and skull and crossbones are traps. But when you navigate, so the first thing you want to do, very first thing you want to do is you want to cast a spell. Get your spellcaster YMCA. Barra's Mystical Coat of Armor should be number 1. That brings your AC down across the board. And then play a bard song. And the one you want to play is Traveler's Tune. That'll bring your AC down even further. That's the first two things you want to do inside any dungeon. Then you want to cast Cat Eyes, which is CAEY. Cat's Eyes is the best spell you can have to look around in a dungeon, because it allows you to see secret doors, and it allows you to see traps, and I believe it allows you to see all sorts of, let me see, cast 7, exploration, Cat Eyes. Perfect night vision. It lasts indefinitely unless it's blown out by something, and you can see secret doors. That's what you want. You don't necessarily have to have a levitation spell going until you need one, but you should cast Keel's Magic Compass, which is Mako. that allows you to see which direction you're facing. If you look under here, that allows you to see which direction you're facing. That's pretty much what you should have running as far as like, you know, spells that are continuous. It'll tell you how much you have left. You'll see how many minutes, how many minutes, how many minutes. And then this says persistent, which means it's indefinite until it's blown out. If you go on an anti-magic square, you have to recast these spells. So when you are here traveling around inside of a dungeon, you want to try to get in and out of areas like this. When you get inside here, do what you got to do inside here, and then get the hell out. Pay mind to these, which are teleporters. Either avoid them or use them if you need to. Like this one goes to the stairs. So if you want to go up in the tower, that's the Maze of Dread, you would want to use this. So it's not always a bad thing. And then of course wrap around. The legend here tells you whatever everything means. And again, J, journal, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, very important. So, if you have, like in the last video, so if you have the master key, somebody has the master key. The master key is no spin, which means spinner traps don't affect me. You want that. I don't think anyone in this party has a no spin ring, because I don't need one because I have the master key. But you definitely want speed boots. Someone or everyone should be wearing speed boots. Also, as many people as you can have wearing the elf cloak. See the elf cloak? If you can wear an elf cloak, wear it. Speed boots and elf cloak. And anything that increases accuracy or critical. Your magic users should have conjure staffs. If you can't find a conjure staff, use a mage staff. If you can't find a conjure staff or a mage staff, you're going to have a hard time on any tower or dungeon in all three games. You conjure staff cuts spell points in half. Mage staff regenerates spell points. You can use these in conjunction with each other. Do it. If you can't find them, find them. Yeah. Anything that increases armor, shield ring. And then just use your spells. If you don't know much about spells, learn. Go to your spell list, read about all your spells. If you go left and right, here's your summoning, curses, multiple targets, single target. Here's your buffs. Here's your healing, exploration, and here's all your spells. Generally, I stay in all, unless I'm fighting. Then I'll go to multiple or single. If you're fighting one person, to go to single target. This will usually wipe out just one serious character. If you're fighting a group with a magic user, multiple targets. And it's the same thing with bard songs. Learn your bard songs. Generally, the bard songs that are the most, that are better, are toward the bottom. So, long story short, so Sanctuary Score lowers AC, and Traveler's Tune lowers AC. Traveler's Tune is better than Sanctuary Score. It's, in my opinion. I mean, like here's Sanctuary Score. If you look at the AC, right, watch AC, see how it's like, it still affects the AC, but now it's not as good. But if you go to Bard Song and you go past the Sanctuary Score and down to Traveler's Tune, AC is better. Let's save real quick. Destiny Night. And then, like, exploration. Again, journal. Like, here's a spinner trap, right? See, I'm going toward a spinner trap, right? But you'll see. I'm not spinning. Because I have the master key. You need the master key. If you can't find the master key, get a no spin ring. If you haven't brought a no spin ring over from Bard's Tale 1, find one. Or when you have the master, because spinner traps are going to really make your life miserable. And I'm telling you, spinner traps will make your life miserable. So make sure you have the master key or a no spin ring. These will not affect you for the entire game, all the way to the end of the game. They will not affect you. And you can see the mini-map. I'm looking at the mini-map. When I'm playing Bard's Tale 1, 2, or 3, I'm staring at the mini-map. You guys might be seeing, like, the hallway. Like, how does he know where he's going? Because I'm not looking at what I'm doing. I'm just looking at the mini-map. And just staring at the map. Now, when you first come here, you're not going to have any of this map. It's going to be blank. And you're going to go, well, that's why you know where you're going, because you already mapped it. Exactly. I mapped it. I was here before I mapped it, too. I don't really know, like if you see here, right? Hit a trap. Ouch. Poisoned, blah, blah, blah. Here's a spinner. We're going to go past that. Before I get into that, though, we can cast a rest. Rest is the healing spell that I use most often. It just heals everyone. Here's a book. And you'll see, it says it right here. This room is unfair. Do not go in there. But if you should dare, scry with care. Scry is scry sight, which is here. You can either press this and cast scry sight, which will tell you where you are and tell you what's going on, or you can cast scry sight here by going SCSI, and that'll do that. That's scry sight. And they tell you that. They say, listen, if you go in there, you're going to be miserable, but scry. And that'll tell you where you are. I think you're lost. Here's another trap. There is a spell to detect traps, which I'm not running currently. Sorcerer Sight. Once you cast that, now you can see right in front of me. See how I can see the trap now? But that's just in the window. You can see traps if you've already been here with the little skull and crossbones. And when you see that, just get a magic user and cast TRZP, which is Trap Zap. And that'll get rid of the trap. You're going to use Trap Zap a lot when you're exploring. Over here. And this, which I already know, once you explore and map stuff out, you'll see this goes up in the tower. So we want to go in here. And we're going to fight this monster area with the little X in front of it. And let's fight him. Just while I'm in here, let's do it. So we're going to attack A, which is melee. Attack A, which is melee. Let's use a bard song. No, let's not use a bard song. Let's use an equipped weapon. Let's use a blast harp. And we're going to use the blast harp at the Kargans, which are B at 20, which leaves the dragons at 40. That chose as a hunter. We're going to attack the reptilians in front. We're going to hide in the shadows with the rogue. And now we're going to cast spells for multiple targets. And they're like dragons at, what, 8 dragons at 40. I look at spell point cost, and I kind of try to figure out what it is. Like if they're wizards, I look for a spell that affects wizards. If they're undead, I look for a spell that affects undead. Or sometimes, you know, like these are dragons. So, ice. See, this is Rhymefang. You might not have this. You might only have Flame Column at 30. So, Flame Column at 30, but the dragons are at 40. So the Flame Column will do damage, just not... It'll not maximum. It'll do depleted damage because it's at 30 and you're attacking something at 40. So you want something else. Wizard War will also affect them, but they're not wizards. Same effect. So let's go to Rhymefang, which is 40, which is where they're at. Shards of Ice. And then I have another spellcaster. So I can cast another spell, or I can just defend. So I'm going to defend and see what happens. So the dragons advance, which is good. The Kargans advance, which is good. So now we just have the dragons, and they're in melee range. So fight. Now remember, melee range, attack, attack, attack. And now Nechos is the hunter, attack. That's 4 crits. Now I have the rogue, who can attack now because he hid in the last round. He can attack up to 20. But they're in melee range, which is 10. So that's an automatic crit. And then defend both magic users. And this fight should be over. And it is. Let's do it again. So we have 9 bone drones in melee. We have a fiend at 30. So we're going to just attack everyone in melee range. The rogue is going to hide in the shadows, and then we're going to cast. We see now we have 1 fiend at 30. So we're going to go to single target. Storal Soul Whip is 70. A fiend is an undead, probably, because it's a skeleton picture. Or we can go to Spectre Touch. Storal Soul Whip is much more damage. So we're going to use that on the fiend, which is B. And the other magic user will defend. This should... And we're going to do the same thing. So attack everything in melee. We're going to let the rogue attack too. He's 20. And we're going to cast that Soul Whip spell again. And we're going to cast that at the fiend at 30. And defend the other magic user. And then we have 1 greater demon at 30. He's at 30. So rather than advance, which would give him a possible opportunity to attack us first, we're just going to fight. We're going to attack the rogue. We're going to hide in the shadows to try to get closer to him. And then we're going to cast a spell at a demon. There's only one of them, and he's at 30. Right, and if there's no enemy in range, the spell will be a different color. Like this would do no damage to him because he's at 30. But here you'll see Demon Bane. He's a greater demon, and Demon Bane is a 30 is 30. And he's at 30. So we're going to use that. And we're going to hit the greater demon and defend the other magic user. And that fight should be over. And it is. Let's save. Destiny Night. And fight again. So we have 30 and 40. Nobody at melee range. So we can attack or we can defend. Defend gives you a little bit more defense. So if no one's in melee range, I can defend. And then when I get to the bard, now I'm going to play a bard song. So we have archers and a fiend. So a good bard song for this. I'm going to play protection from traps. Soothe your savage foes. So this is good for spells, which is not really a problem because they're archers. Already, and that's no. So this song will soothe your savage foes, making them do less. Yeah, let's soothe the savage foes. We have the hunter. Hunter can defend. Rogue can hide in shadows. And then here we go with the magic user. So we have 1 at 30. Let's do Demon Bane at a fiend, which is A. Let's cast with the other spellcasters. And now we have a group. And it's at 40, and they're archers. So what's at 40? Rhyme Fang? Let's do that. And that fight's over. And we have another fight. We could run. See, if I hit R and run, I can almost always run. And I'll tell you why. Because of these speed boots. See these speed boots? See these speed boots? See? Speed boots. All those speed boots allow you to just run. You can just run, 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 run. That's another thing. So, master key or no spin ring, not affected by spinner traps. Speed boots allows you to run from monster groups almost every time. These are things that you need to make life easier inside of horrible, miserable dungeons. So now when I end up moving forward over here, that's going to put me at the stairs to go up, which is here, and then stairs to go up. Yes. Now we're in darkness. New players are going to be like, what do I do? Darkness. I can't see what's going on. What should I do? The same thing. That's what you do. You do the exact same thing. Journal, back and forth. All this area is darkness. All of it. Now you see the traps? That's why you have Sorcerer Sight. So you can see any traps in here. Just remember, journal, back and forth. And of course, minimap. You won't be able to see the minimap in darkness. But if you keep going back and forth to the journal, let's say I move this way, you'll see the magic compass, right? I'm facing that way, right? If you look here, you'll see I'm facing that way. If you go back and you face south, go back to your journal, you'll see now I'm facing south. Back and forth. This is how you do it. Back and forth like this. Now look, see what you're doing. Like, where do you want to go, right? So let's say we want to go here, right? So we have to make sure we avoid these skull and crossbones. There's a spinner trap here, which is not going to affect me. Traps is not a big deal. And I'll tell you why, because I'm going to head right to these traps. But I'm going to go to this book. So we go like this, and we look at the magic compass, which is here. So let's move, see the, now you see, if we have Sorcerer Sight, which is this, we can see this in our main window. We won't accidentally trip on it. Then we cast a spell, TRZP, trap zap, that gets rid of that. Now you go back to your journal, we took care of that trap. But you'll see to the west is a book. So let's go like this, we'll look at our magic compass over here, and we know we're in the right direction. Now we're on top of the book. Hit space. Now if you go to journal, we're on top of the book. And if we face south, there's a trap. So look at the magic compass. We're facing south. Look, there's the trap. Cast a spell. 7. TRZP. Trap zap. TRZP. That trap is gone. Back to the journal. See that? We just killed the trap. Now here's a spinner to the west, right? So we're going to look at the magic compass on the bottom of the window. We're going to go west, right? Look, we're on top of the spinner trap right now. But guess what? Spinner trap doesn't affect me because I have the master key. Or get a no spin ring. You don't want spinner traps to affect you. And this is why, because when you're in darkness and you're trying to get your bearings and know which direction you're going, spinner traps will make your life miserable. Also, you see how this trap is like 1, 2, 3, it's 2 squares away from where I'm at, right? 2 squares. Up the trap zap works up to 30 feet away. So I can actually disarm this trap if I face west. You see the trap in the window right here? You can barely see it. But I can still trap zap it by going trap zap. Done. Trap is out. Hit J. Go back. See? Traps are gone in the area. We're still in darkness, but I can see what I'm doing. Now, if we just head south from here, you're going to see a trap right here. Right? See where I'm at? But I'm not going to look at the journal. I'm just going to face south. I'm going to move forward in the darkness until I see the trap. Once you see the trap, go like this. Trap zap. Hit the trap. Go back to your journal. Look, keep going south. You're going to hit a wall. That's when it says ouch, ouch, ouch. You see? See how I'm hitting the wall? Now all I want to do is go around to the door. So I want to head east, south, and then west. So come back here, and I want to go east, south, west. Boom. See, now I'm inside of it. Hit space. Now, see how I'm inside? That's how you navigate darkness. No spin ring, master key, so you don't spin around like a bastard. Speed boots, so you can run from encounters if you want. And know your magic. Know how to set up your party. I mean, if you see the last video I made, again, make sure you have people up front that can critical hit anyone close to you. Make sure you have your hunter and your rogue for criticals and hiding in shadows. Make sure you utilize your bard, not just for bard songs, but because you can use instruments. Like my blast harp does a lot of damage, but you can also press B and play a bard song. So bards can play songs, which are spells, to either protect the party or decrease damage that they do, and increase damage that you do. But you can also use an item and press your bard. I'm sorry, go to inventory, go to your bard, go to yeah, and here's your blast harp. And there's tons of instruments. Now, when you use a blast harp, that does damage at range 50 for this amount of damage, 64 to 256 on a group. It's a breath attack on a group, which is not a bard song. It's an instrument of war. It's a weapon. So, and plus, you have a weapon. Bards are indispensable. And again, hunters and rogues can throw stuff like darts, and they can shoot bow and arrows, and some of them can get pretty nasty. But you can also do critical hits on melee damage. Always utilize hiding shadows. And magic users, again, your spell list is just know your spells. Know which spells you have to use. And if you do, you're not going to have a problem when you're in a dungeon. Dargoth's Tower, to me, in my personal opinion, is not very hard. And if you think this is bad, wait till you get to, what is it? The Maze of Dread or Grey Crypt. The Grey Crypt, you can't use magic inside the Grey Crypt at all. Here's the Maze of Dread. Here's Oscons. Here's the Grey Crypt. And you'll see. Here's the Grey Crypt. You're not using magic in here. You're not using magic in the Grey Crypt. Here's the Grey Crypt level 2. You're not using magic in here. So if you think Dargoth is tough, get to the Grey Crypt where you can't use magic. You know what I'm saying? And here's the Destiny Stone. That's the last level. But once you get to the Grey Crypt and you're at the... Look at this. This is the Destiny Stone. You think Dargoth is tough? I'll tell you, man. Not tough. And then you'll know how to navigate, how to get in and out of dungeons. Apport Arcane. Apport Arcane, which is up here. It'll tell you to cast, choose a magic user. You can go up and down. This is a level 3. The blue S's regenerate, which is great. I mean, Dargoth is not a very difficult tower at all. But we're going to go back down to level 1 and look for the entry stairs and see if we can apport Arcane. And check the journal. And we can. If you wanted to apport Arcane and not do it from the journal, you would literally just cast 7 APAR, and then it'll say, where do you want to go? You see what I'm saying? But it's a lot easier to just go to the journal and apport Arcane, choose the magic user, and just press a square. And then literally just get the hell out. And now we're back outside. Cast Arrest. I always, whenever I come out of a dungeon or a tower, spell points regenerate on their own, which is here in sunlight, or unless you have a mage staff. Pretty sure it's sunlight. I don't think they regenerate at night. I could be wrong though. There's so many little things that I just don't pay attention to because I've been playing this for so long. But I always go into a temple, which is the little hands, because if there are certain things that you can be afflicted with, that the rest spell won't help. One of them is old, which drains experience levels, which causes you to attack as a lower level character. But I'm pretty sure there might be one or two others. I can't recall. I know one of them is old. If you see old over here next to your character, I want to say there's a spell later in the game for Bards 2, or maybe it's Bards 3, that you can fix that. You can cast it. But if you just go into a temple it'll let you know. Like it'll say visit us when somebody needs healing, means that all your characters are good. They're in good health. But if it says there's something wrong at all with any of your characters, just heal all characters and just keep doing it until it says come back when someone needs healing. Then you know you're all good. If you do not let me see. Yeah, okay, so I have a wineskin, which allows me to drink alcohol while I'm in dungeons and towers, because you only have so many bard songs. If you have a bard sword, you can play unlimited bard songs. I do not. I'm using a death dagger, which means you'll see here songs remaining 38. I'm level 44. So I've played X amount of songs. I only have 44 songs, and then my mouth gets dry. So I can either drink from the wineskin, which will bring me back to 44 songs that I can play, or you can just go into a tavern, select your bard, order a drink. Doesn't matter what you drink, just drink ale or whatever, and then exit. Now, if you look at your bard, you'll see songs remaining 44, level 44. Now I didn't have to use my wineskin. And then that's it. Somebody here is leveling up. This means a level up. So this is my rogue. So we want to look for the review board, which is right here, I believe. And then we go to advancement. And we go to the rogue. And now he's even better. Come out. Let's go to the rogue. And again, and this is why rogues are important. I hide in shadows all the time. I identify magic items, or any items, almost all the time. Disarm traps. Traps are not even, you know, I just disarm traps. When you see this, and then it's plus 10 to hit. So, I don't know. People are like, oh, they're useless. You know, this is my party. All 3 games, my party. With slight differences, but save the game. Make sure you save the game. Do not rely on autosave. Autosave is good to pick up where you left off to continue the game, but if you've done anything of significance, save the game. Oh, I want to run. I got speed boots. See? So I run. I can never not run unless it's like a scripted battle. Once your characters are high enough, run. And that's how you can explore dungeons. You have speed boots, which allow you to run. You have the master key or a no-spin ring, which are not affected by spinners. So you can basically just run, navigate, run, navigate, run, navigate, run, navigate, run, navigate, run, and that's how you map out a dungeon or a tower. And then once you have it mapped out, yeah, your characters are gonna die, sure. But once you have the dungeon level mapped out, just go in there and show it who's boss. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, there's your Dargoth's tower. So, we're going to end the video. I'll throw this up. Questions, comments. Subscribe. Especially the guy having an issue with Dargoth, man. Any questions at all? If there's anything specific you want to see me, you want me to show you. I mean, I love these games. The difficulty in all 3 of these games, in my opinion, is there's ways around anything and everything that you find difficult about any of the maps in any of these games. I've found ways around them. There's the only thing I haven't done is Bard's Tale 1 burger battles, which is just something. It's pretty much like extra content in Bard's 1. After you beat the game, you can go into the temple and type the word burger, which is an homage to Burger Becky, Rebecca Heinman, who was responsible. You know, and that's a whole nother video. You know, there's contention between Mr. Cranford and Miss Hyman about whether or not who had the original code, who was coding in the original game, and But I mean, hey, the burger battles exist in Bard's Tale 1, and they did in the original. So, if Rebecca Hyman, Burger Becky, didn't have anything to do with the original Bard's Tale 1 code, then how the fuck did the burger battles get in there, Something to think about. Anyway, let me end the video. Dropping it. Peace. Good weekend if I don't see you or talk to you.